Ebon Moss confirms that the thing will be done through visual effects and motion capture performance.
Who are
Let's check it out.
Ben Grimm, the Thing, in the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
That you can say. Which is, have you been fitted for your rocks yet? Or will this be like a CGI thing like the Hulk in the Marvel movies?
I don't think it's the suit. Michael Chiklis wore a suit. Apparently the suit was really uncomfortable.
Yeah, suits.
And it's kind of, we're past that, I think. It's a little kind of cosplay, kind of, it's a little amateur, that stuff, now with the technology we have. So, yeah, I think it's mostly performance capture. I think that's what motion capture, performance capture.
What's going on, moviegoers? So if you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to SeaWorld Productions. Ebon Moss has confirmed, you guys, that Ben Grimm, aka the Thing in the Fantastic Four, will be motion capture performance and CGI. Now, how do you guys feel about this? Do you feel like they should have went for the practical effects? This is going to be an interesting discussion. Now, you guys, we are in the world of 2024. It is important for authenticity when we're making these comic book films. Look, the original Fantastic Four film, even the one in 1994 and the one with Michael Chiklis, that was practical effects. But honestly, it's because of the visual effects at that time weren't the greatest. So they had to do practical effects. Now, I'll be honest, I absolutely loved Michael Chiklis's, his costume, but it was very uncomfortable and hot. I can only imagine being in that thing for hours upon hours a day, and then going on set, shooting, taking it off. Literally, it's like a whole event just to put that suit on. It looked great for its time. I still love it. Stan Lee loved it as well, but we're in a very different time. We are. And when you're adapting certain characters, certain comic book characters, either that be Marvel or DC, you really, really, really have to be careful with the design, because we've had great practical effects on many heroes and villains. Wonderful stuff. But we've also had some terrible ones, and we've also had some terrible CGI. Galactus was a cloud in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. A cloud. And in Eternals, we got Celestials, you guys. Both, CGI characters, but we are in such a different time. Now they can really adapt these characters in a much better way. So I'm excited that Ben Grimm, the Thing, is going to be, CGI. I think that with that little poster that they released for the announcement of the Fantastic Four, I feel like that right there is going to be the concept of what the Thing will look like. I love the whole, the big eyebrows. I'm a big fan of that shit. I'll eat it up. Hell, he's going to have to go up against the Hulk eventually, right? Or Galactus. So he has to be a little bit bigger than normal. But it's really tricky. It's really tricky. And, we can go down the list of a bunch of characters. Like, for instance, the Hulk. Lou Ferrigno in the 70s. That was practical effects. It was amazing for its time when he transformed and, the shirt ripped and the muscles were there. He was ginormous. It looked good for the time, but rewatching it now, it's extremely corny, but I still love and adore it because that show meant so much to my childhood. And then we fast forward, Eric Bana, Edward Norton, Mark Ruffalo. Visual effects and technology got so much better. They went full-blown CGI route. It ultimately looks really good when you're dealing with the Hulk, because the Hulk is a CGI character. I'm sorry, but he always should be CGI unless you're doing a different multiverse story and Lou Ferrigno is down to come back in the practical effects. I would absolutely love that shit. I would go crazy. Or even like Thanos. Thanos in the first Avengers movie was played by Damian Porter, and that was practical effects. So when he turned around and did that whole smile, that was a person actually in costume and prosthetics and everything. And then they decided to recast, go with Josh Brolin, and make Thanos completely CGI, which, thank the Lord, because you don't want a whole problem like X-Men Apocalypse had with Apocalypse. Apocalypse is ginormous in the comic books, and Oscar Isaac was portraying a much smaller, weaker, non-menacing, threatening Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse. So exactly that right there is, a big example of when knowing to do CGI and when knowing to do practical effects. When you have big characters like that, they have to be done through visual effects. They just have to. Galactus. Javier Bardem is, rumored to be attached to the role. He's been offered the role for Galactus. I would love to see him in some kind of practical suit, but obviously you enhance it with visual effects to make him look ginormous, things of that nature. That would be super, super cool to see. It's Galactus, you guys. He's not going to be a cloud in the Fantastic Four in the MCU. Or look at Colossus in the earlier X-Men films. Some of that was practical and he was much smaller. And then you fast forward to Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2. Magnificent. The authenticity of Colossus was so damn good. Or you look at, other CGI characters like Rocket and Groot or, Korg. Those characters look so great with their visual effects. They look fantastic. So it's knowing when to do practical and knowing when not to do practical. Even Iron Man, Spider-Man, they have, the first Iron Man still looks the greatest because I want to say 60% of Iron Man or even 70%, he was in costume. And then they, post-production, they throw the makeup on there, the visual effects, whatever. It looks so good. Iron Man has never looked better than Iron Man 1, you guys. And that's because of the practical suit that Downey was wearing. And as time progressed, visual effects got much better. Motion capture performance got much better. And you're like, you don't have to wear this. You're going to wear like, an armor suit up to here. And that was it. It's night and day when you look at Iron Man in the first Iron Man film and Iron Man in Civil War. It's night and day how much better that first film looks. And it's crazy to me. It really is crazy to me. Or even like this one. This one, I have so much mixed feelings because Spider-Man suits in the MCU definitely feel like they've been glossed over so much with visual effects. And then you look at Toby and you look at Andrew, that shit looks so well made practically. It's like they didn't need to throw makeup or visual effects on those suits at all. And then you see Tom Holland Spider-Man, Iron Spider suit. Yeah, I get it. That has to be CGI. Or even, the Venom suit, the symbiote suit has to be CGI. But there are ways around it. I still think, Toby and Andrew have the best Spider-Man suits. Tom Holland Spider-Man suits don't even come close. And he's had so many suits. But I am excited to see his new suit that he made from scratch, in Spider-Man 4. We got the tease at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. That was a sight to see. Or even look at Beast. Beast in the earlier X-Men films have always been practical effects. Now, I love the way Beast looked in X3, really did. I liked the way Beast looked in First Class. But then he kind of went for this werewolf design after that, and I disliked it. And then we see Beast in the Marvels, completely visual effects. Looks freaking amazing. I don't care what anybody says. Beast in the Marvels looks so damn good, so comic book accurate. I cannot wait to see more Beast. So it's going to be exciting to see where they go with Ben Grimm and the Thing and the whole design. I'm really hoping to see some horrific shit of when he first transforms, or even theory. Like, imagine that it's set in the 60s, right? So imagine he's in a practical suit for the 60s, but then, you jump back to, present day, and it's completely visual effects and CGI. That would be pretty interesting. But, I'm really excited to see, the Thing be adapted through the MCU. Because, the Thing we got in 2015 with the Fan Force stick was garbage. That design was terrible. He just looked like a pile of rocks, put together. It looked like it was just bad, you guys. It was bad, terrible. But like I said, the Thing, I want to see him transform, and I want to see it so gruesomely done. You know what I mean? I want to see the pain. I want to see the structure. I want to see it growing out of him. That's what I want to see. Edward Norton had the best transformation for Hulk at the end of the film and the third act of The Incredible Hulk. When you see him on the, you see him on the table or whatever, and he's transforming, and he has like the thing in his mouth, and you see his shoulders just badass. But then, you know what I mean? I guess, that was when Marvel was a little bit on the darker side, and that was Universal. So it was a very different Marvel back then. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about Ebon Moss confirming that the Thing in the MCU will be done with motion capture performance and visual effects. Thoughts and opinions, you guys, post your comments down below and let me know. Peace.